Alright, so I'm redoing the intro to this video because a portion of this video was actually recorded a few weeks ago. Basically what happened was I was going to record this video about 45 minutes into it. For some reason my camera failed on my phone. My phone didn't die, I didn't run out of storage or anything, it just said camera failed and the recording stopped. And I was kind of tired that night anyway, so I just figured I'd finish recording the next day or the next night and post the video up, sometime next couple days after filming it. Obviously it didn't happen because here I am a month later after WrestleMania. The WrestleMania Blu-ray and DVD is already out. As you guys can see, I already have it right here, the Steel Book, which I'll be watching and reviewing the next couple days, so stay tuned for that. But I do apologize for this video being super late. I know it's been a month after WrestleMania. Truth be told, and this is going to be all excuses, but it's honest truth. I've just been super busy and haven't had a whole lot of free time. The free time I had, I just, decided to do other things instead, to occupy myself rather than sitting down and recording a super long video like this one. I just been getting more hours at work. Life's been hectic. I've been very tired, more lately I've noticed, so just haven't had that free opportunity and time to sit down and film a video, a super long video that is, because this video is going to be probably in total over an hour, so it's just hard to find that time when you have a hectic schedule nowadays. So I do apologize to everyone that's been waiting for this video. Thank you guys for being patient. And yeah, this is my WrestleMania 33 week live experience video, pretty much discussing everything from when I got to Orlando up until the moment I left Orlando. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and here we go. I believe the day I left was Wednesday, March 29th. Yeah, March 29th I left, and I came back April 5th. So I was gone, a full week. And, the travel day was terrible. Well, just because, it's a travel day. I don't think anyone has fun on travel days. My flight, because I had a connecting flight because I couldn't get any straightaways, or one-ways. There were one-ways available, like, back in the summertime, but by the time I was going to buy my flight, there were no, direct flights anymore. They're all layovers. So I had a flight here from 3:15 to Las Vegas. That was my layover, was in Vegas. I got to Vegas a little after like 4:30, I want to say. Well, it wasn't a huge layover at all. I think the flight leaving was like 5:25 from Vegas to Orlando. So honestly, I only had maybe a 20-minute layover because of course they started letting people on the plane half an hour early. So it wasn't a huge layover at all. Love the Vegas airport, by the way. It looks small, but they jam-packed a lot of room in that space. So I really enjoyed the Vegas airport. Chilled there, got on my flight, 5 hours from Vegas to Orlando. Just absolutely miserable. I know there's people that travel overseas from anywhere to 10 to 20 hours. Nothing but respect for you guys, but as a person, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people like this, so I'm not going to sit here and feel sorry for me, because 5 hours isn't bad at all compared to, like I said, to 10 to 20 hour flights some people do. That's dedication, so nothing but respect for people that are willing to do that every year to go to WrestleMania. But I'm a person that can't sit still for more than 5 minutes. I always have to constantly move. That's why if you ever notice my videos, well, I have to crack my back a lot because my back just sucks. But I hate sitting, so I have to constantly move. So sitting on a plane for 5 hours definitely sucked. So I figured since I was there for 5 hours, I might as well buy the Wi-Fi, which kind of regret because the Wi-Fi is absolutely terrible. I understand you're, however high in the air, but you would think you could at least have decent Wi-Fi for $8 too. If they're charging $8, it's gotta at least be decent. But no, it was absolutely terrible. Didn't like it at all. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. I just noticed there was some prints on my screen, so that's why the video, if it looks a little clearer, it's because I wiped it off. But anyways, about Wi-Fi, you'd think for $8 it'd be decent Wi-Fi, but no, it was absolutely terrible. So that was kind of like $8 down the drain. Took 10 hours for each page to load, so I couldn't even watch videos really because they just took forever to buffer. So $8 down the drain. So thanks Southwest for wasting my money there. And I got to Orlando a little after 1 o'clock in the morning. If you're wondering why I flew in so late, it was honestly cheaper for me to fly in on Wednesday night and stay that night than what it would have been for me to fly in Thursday night and stay for Thursday. So that's the reason why I flew in Wednesday night instead of going just on Thursday and spending my day there. It was just cheaper for me, so that's why I came in so late. And this is where immediately shit's going down. So I get out and I immediately, go to the front and I'm thinking I'm gonna call an Uber to go to my hotel. For weeks I was looking up Ubers, from the hotel to, from the airport to the hotel, and it was like anywhere from like 15 to like $25. I'm like, that's fine. So I'm there. I'm going to call an Uber, and they say they want $55 to $65 depending on the person, because it's only allowed me to get Uber XL, which is the most expensive Uber you can get. And I'm like, fuck me. That's already putting a huge a huge like hole in my plans, because like I said, I was expecting to pay like 15, 25, because that was estimating total each time I check. And now that saying one's 55 to 65, that's throwing a huge monkey wrench into my funds already. So I'm thinking I'm already fucked. So I tried to see lifts available, because I always see these coupons for lifts. So I'm like, I'll use the whatever amount off on Lyft. Lyft's not available in the area, so I have to take a cab. And conveniently, that's where the cabs are at. I'm right next to the cab, so I'm like, oh fuck, I'm about to pay for a cab. It's gonna suck. I go over there, and there's a bunch of cabs lining up. They're all chilling there. And I walk up, and as I walk up, a new like cab driver comes up. He just drives freshly up as I'm walking up, and he goes, "Need a ride?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, I'll take you." I'm like, "Well, what's your fare rate?" He tells me his fare rate. I'm like, "Well, can I get an estimate from here to this location?" And he goes, about, like 55, 60. I'm like, I was hoping to pay less. It's like, kind of like saying like, I don't know. And he goes, I'll do it for 40. I'm like, sold, no problem. So I'm like, okay, I'm going with this guy for sure. And as I'm going with this guy, another guy comes up and it's like, no, you're not going with him. You're going over here. I'm like, what? And then the guy that I agreed to go with and this other guy are now arguing. Keep in mind, not to sound racist or anything, but all these cab drivers are Jamaican. And they all have very thick accents. So these two are arguing, and I could barely understand a word they're saying because their accents are so thick. I didn't know what was going on. So I'm just sitting there as these two are arguing. I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I'm thinking these guys are going to fight any second, because the guy that I agreed to go with, you can tell he's getting pissed off now. And this other guy's telling him, no, you're not taking this guy. So I'm like, fuck, what do I do? And this third guy comes, and he's like, all right, hey, you're coming with me, come on. And at this point, I'm just like, you know what? I just want to get away from these fucking guys. So I'm like, all right, fuck, I'll just go with you. I'll pay whatever price. Because this guy was charging the same fare and everything. So I'm like, I'll pay the fucking $55, whatever. I just want to get away from this guy at this point. So I go with him, and I get to my hotel. And very nice guy, by the way. He was very nice, and he explained me the situation too, by the way. So I guess what happened was, if you're a cab driver, you're on your own. You're trying to make money for yourself. You are very selfish, because that's how you make your living. And I'm not saying that to be stereotypical. I've had a friend, I won't name him, who was a cab driver for a little bit, and he told me how it was. So I'm just going off what he said. So cab drivers, it's free for all. You're making money for yourself, so you're trying to get people, as you're trying to get a person as quickly as possible to get money. So I guess what the guy explained to me was, I guess him and all the other cab drivers there in the area kind of made a pact and agreed that, you know what, first come, first serve. So the first, drivers there get first dibs on the people trying to get a cab. That's what they're doing. And since I just walked in the area and the guy that tried to take me just pulled up, he was essentially cutting off every single guy in line waiting and saying, trying to get a ride from me. So that was a big ordeal. That's why the second guy came out and started arguing with him, because the second guy was trying to tell him that, hey, we got this whole ordeal going on. You just can't fucking drive up and take this guy. And the guy was kind of like, oh, I don't fucking care, whatever. He's pretty much being a dick to the guy that I was originally going to go with. So that's what the guy was explaining to me on the way there. And this was fucking made me even more glad I didn't go with the other guy. So I get to my hotel, and my total was like $42. Keep in mind, this guy had the same exact fare rate as the other guy, the same mileage and everything from the hotel to the airport. The other guy told me $55 to $65, whatever it was, and he told me to do it for 40, but my total ended up being $42. So my theory was, this fucker purposely gave me a higher amount and then said that the legit amount to make it seem like it was a great deal he was giving me, just so he can give me a fucking ride. So that made me even more happy I didn't end up going with that fucking asshole, because he was just a prick. So the guy that tried to take me, you can go fuck yourself. So yeah, I got to my hotel. It's probably like almost 2-ish at this point. I don't even know estimate. It wasn't a far drive, but I had to wait because I was trying to figure out what the fuck to do when I got there. So I had probably like 1:45-ish around there, 2-ish, around that time range. Got to the hotel, checked in, everything was fine. And then I went to my room, and I pretty much stayed up all night, making some phone calls, checking in, letting people know I was fine. I probably didn't go to bed till 2 o'clock, or not 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, honestly, because, I'm still on that West Coast time at that point. So at that time, it was like 2 o'clock, and I'm usually up till like 2 to 3 anyways every night. So by the time it was 5, that's when I started crashing down. I finally went to bed after watching TV and talking to some friends. So that was my first initial day, I guess, my travel day. So it was pretty hectic, pretty long day. I just won the rest of that point, and I slept in probably till like 11:30, 12-ish, because the maid service knocked on my door asking if I needed like housekeeping, and I told them no, I'm fine. So they actually woke me up initially. So I slept in. So we go into Thursday, and Thursday is a pretty uneventful day for the most part, up until probably the end of the day. I probably didn't get dressed or anything until like 1:32-ish, because I just didn't want to do anything. I was just tired. I wanted to relax because I knew that was probably my only opportunity to relax that entire week, or just relax and sleep in for a little bit. So I wanted to cherish that time, so I wasn't really too much in a hurry to do anything. So I got all ready and everything, and I went to the superstore because there's not really much else to do. So I went to the superstore, called an Uber. Thankfully, because it was my first Uber ride, it wasn't. But it was on that account. I got it for free. So it was like a $14 ride anyways for 3 miles, because God, Uber was such a pain in the ass. That was the one thing I hated in Orlando. Everything was so far spread apart that you pretty much had to take an Uber everywhere you went. And since Uber was such high demand, you're getting charged more than you thought. So it fucking sucked taking Ubers that entire week. Honestly, I spent like almost half my money, half my funds on fucking Ubers that week. So it was fucking terrible. But it was $14 there. But like I said, free first ride, so I didn't pay a dime. Went to the superstore. I liked the place it was in. It was kind of confusing though, because like most people were like entering the complete opposite of where this like access and everything were at, because the convention center is so fucking big that like people are just getting dropped up in the front, but like access and everything was like in the very, very back. So it was just a big clusterfuck getting in there and figuring out where the fuck to go. But yeah, that superstore itself was very, very nice. It was probably might have been the biggest superstore in terms of spacing. I just felt like it was a lot of space, and it was just very, very big compared to previous years, in my opinion. And as always, I got sick at the superstore. I'll just show you real quick. These are just all the bags I have from going to the superstore. Gives a good idea how much I spent. But I'm trying to make a room. Cookies. But yeah, I went to the superstore and I got the essential stuff I usually want to get. So I'll show you guys that right now. The first thing I actually got was the event shirt itself. There it is, the WrestleMania event shirt. Of course, with the match card on the back, with all the matches. You can go ahead and pause it if you want to see them. I mean, you know the match card, so you don't really get to see it. But really nice shirt. I've worn this a few times already. That's why it's kind of like looks all worn and everything. So really like that shirt. And then I also got the WrestleMania I Was There. The tag's still on there. The I Was There t-shirt. This is one of the essential things you got to get. I like how they added the location as well. I think the other ones just had the date on it, but this one actually says Orlando, Florida. So I like that they added that to this shirt. So definitely wanted to get that. End up getting the match card shirt of Triple H and Seth Rollins, because that was the match I was looking forward to the absolute most on this show. So there's the front and there's the back, of course, all the accolades and everything. So if you want to pause it and look at it, you can. And the final shirt I got was the NXT TakeOver Orlando event shirt itself. There is a front with a nice looking artwork, I guess you can say. And then, of course, on the back just has a logo and it says, I Was There, Orlando, Florida. So, really nice t-shirt. So those are the shirts I got, and I actually ended up getting one more shirt later on, but that's later on in the video. So I initially left with, oh no, sorry, forgot to mention, also another thing must have, the program. Very nice program, and of course Hall of Fame on the other side. Just really enjoy getting these. These are great to get signed as well, too. You know, if you're going to Access, you can just go to the page with the guys, and it's very easy to get signed. And there's like, you know, some of it right there. But yeah, got the program, the essential stuff. So I initially left with just those, and then I was on the phone, and then I realized I forgot to get posters. So I ended up going back because the posters were hidden. They were in a corner because usually the last couple of years, they had like the poster stand, like, you know, you go to Walmart or whatever, and they have like that poster display. They've usually had that, but I didn't even see it there, and they didn't have one this year. They just had it in a corner by the figures, which, by the way, they were overcharging for figures and pops. I want to get the figures, like the Kevin Owens and AJ Styles figures. I was really staring at those at Access at the Superstore, but they were $25 or. Yeah, $25 for the elites, and I didn't want to pay $50 for both. So I mean, it ended up working out that I didn't buy them there, but I decided, you know, almost everything in the Superstore is overcharged. But you're in such mark mode, you don't really care about the prices. You just buy what you want. So that happened to me. I spent like 200 and like, I want to say overall in WWE merch probably like almost $300 total. I just got sick, but yeah, I realized I didn't get any posters, so I saw the posters in the corner when I went back to Superstore and realized I need to get the posters I usually get. And you guys already see them. The one poster right there, that is the match card poster. I'll probably post a picture or something for a better image. Really like this year's match card poster. I think it looks better than last year's, honestly. I just like the way it's formatted and just the artwork on it. I just think it looks really, really nice. I just think it looks really, really well. And it's definitely nicely designed. And I got the bigger one because last year I got the smaller one. But the match card poster was the only full size poster they had, because the actual event poster itself right here is it's a smaller one. I think it's like 18 by 24 or whatever size it is. Sorry for the glare, so it's hard to kind of see it, but you guys get the idea. That's probably the best way I can show it, unfortunately. But here's the event poster itself. Still gotta find a spot for it, but it's all framed and everything, so there's that. Just put it back right there. But that's everything I got at Superstore. That's all the stuff I got, so I ended up going back to the hotel. And me being the cheap ass that I am, since I didn't want to pay $14 to go back, my dumb ass walked 3 miles back to the hotel, and it was beaming hot. It was an hour walk, and it was absolutely miserable because on my maps, it told me to go on the opposite side of the street where it's nothing but absolute dirt, and cars were driving over dirt, and the dirt was flying into me when the other side of the road was the actual sidewalk. But my maps I was using, it was all fucked up. If anyone used the Maps app at all, I think everyone's was all fucked up. Even the Ubers were all fucked up. It was absolutely terrible. So, yeah, I walked in dirt for 3 miles. That took an hour to get back to my hotel room, and I was sweating bullets. So that was not fun, but me being the cheapskate that I was, I didn't want to pay the Uber, so I think I won. But yeah, got back to the hotel, chilled out for a little bit till Luke arrived, because Luke was, of course, my mate on this trip. He was the person I went to WrestleMania with. I pretty much did everything besides like a thing or two. I think we did everything together. He's the person I was rooming with. Quick shout out to him. Go follow him on Twitter and go subscribe to him. But he has a few Day in the Life videos up from the trip. Which, by the way, I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the video. None have been up yet, and none will be going up for Day in the Life videos. I didn't film anything in terms of like vlogs. I'm just not a vlogger, and I've tried it before, and I don't enjoy doing it, honestly. Like, I like having the footage, looking back and watching, but I live for the moment, and I feel like when I try to sit there and record, I'm not really living in the moment because I'm, trying to focus on recording and doing it at the same time. So, no Day in the Life videos are coming out if anyone's expecting any. But Luke arrived, we settled in for a little bit, hung out, and just big thanks for him for, going on this trip with me, because without him, I probably wouldn't have made this trip possible, because we went 50-50 on all the Ubers, hotel, just everything. So without him, I probably wouldn't be able to go on this trip. So big thanks to Luke for going on this trip with me. It was an absolute blast, and I loved hanging out with him. So big thanks, man. But yeah, I hung out for a little bit. Then we called an Uber and headed out to Evolve. We went to Evolve 80 that night at the Olay Center, I call it, because it was like Orlando Live Events. That was the official title, and it's spelled Olay. So we went there, and we got in pretty quickly. The show was about to start pretty much when we were getting there. And we had some pretty good seats. We had GA, so we pretty much chose where the fuck we wanted to sit. And we would have gotten some like really close seats, I think like 4th row above. But this one row we're gonna sit, there's like 3 or 4 girls in this row, and we're gonna sit like at the end of the row, and it goes, oh, so they're like, oh, sorry, this row is taken for our friends. We're like, no, we're nice, we're saving seats for your friends, that's fine. So me and Luke, whatever, we end up finding like a few rows up more, and we end up finding seats. However, I'm pretty positive throughout the entire show, no one else sat in that entire row. So I'm pretty sure those girls just wanted the row to themselves. So they told anyone that tried to sit there that those seats were taken. So you can go fuck yourselves. But the Evolve show itself was very fun. I thought it was a very fun show to sit through. I thought the Drew Galloway, Matt Riddle match was a fun opener. I thought the triple threat between Leo Rush and I forgot who else was in it. I think Jason Kincaid, and I forgot who the third guy was. I thought that was a fun match. I liked the Darby Allin segment with Ethan Page, with him in the body bag and like the hospital people. I thought that was awesome. Ricochet and Keith Lee tore the house down, in my opinion, had the match of the night. The tag title match was good, and the main event between Zack Sabre Jr. and ACH was a lot of fun as well. So definitely a great show from Evolve there. I honestly thought I had more fun at that show than the Evolve show in Dallas last year, Evolve 58. So I'm definitely looking forward to rewatching that show on Blu-ray once it comes out. And yeah, it was fun. Originally I wanted to meet Matt Riddle after the show, but he had such a long line, and I think Luke just wanted to go at that point. So I was like, you know what, it's fine. I'll meet him some other time. So really wanted to meet him, but was not able to meet Matt Riddle. He was the main goal for that show, but he had such a long line. Like I said, I didn't even bother meeting him. So that was kind of a shitty thing. But we ended up calling an Uber and leaving, and the Uber lady fucked up, or her GPS was fucking up, because where our hotel was at, it was kind of hidden. Like the street you got to turn on didn't have a street light on it, so it was pitch dark, so it was very easily missable. So she kept missing it and kept turning off on different directions. She kept turning off on the freeway, which should have been like a 20, maybe 25-minute drive, if that. It was like almost an hour. So she kept fucking up, and we kept missing our turn, and we had to pay a little bit more because she kept fucking up. So that wasn't fun. But we ended up going back to the hotel. We ended up getting back eventually, and just going straight to bed because, the Evolve show is great, and we know we had a busy Friday ahead of us as well. So we just wanted to relax at that point. So Friday comes. Originally, Friday was going to be a little bit more hectic than it was. I don't think it was that hectic, but it was supposed to be more hectic due to the fact that we actually had another show planned, but we ended up not going to the other show, so that it was beneficial because it gave us more time to relax and not have to worry about rushing things. So Friday morning, we wake up, we go to WrestleCon. Because I have a VIP, well, not a VIP, but I have a ticket to meet Shawn Michaels, my favorite wrestler of all time. I had a ticket to meet Shawn Michaels, and he had a ticket to meet Sting. So we went there. Here's the WrestleCon bracelet that you put on. Of course, WrestleCon Friday, 9 p.m. to 4 p.m. So that's the little bracelet you wore. And I got a little envelope thing for Shawn Michaels. Here's a little pamphlet they give you. And, me and Luke just walked around WrestleCon for a while, just looking at everything, like all the wrestlers signing. Looked at all the beautiful women like Manny Leon and Taylor Hendricks that were signing. That looked absolutely beautiful, by the way. We're just marking out over the wrestlers, looking at the merch and stuff like that. We just walked around, did a few laps for a while. And then eventually I tried to find Shawn Michaels, and I could not find him anywhere. We circled that place like 5 times, and I swear we could not find where the fuck he was at. And then eventually I realized, wait a minute, we have these fucking pamphlets. And if you open it, let me see what page it's on. There we go. It fucking tells you where exactly everyone is going to be at. So Shawn Michaels was signing at the RF video table, which was table number 1. Shawn Michaels. So, and thankfully, when you open it up, there's a map. And Shawn Michaels was in the fucking corner. And I swear to God, we walked by that corner and nothing was there. I swear to God, it was fucking empty. But he was there when we walked by there again, after we checked the map. So we go there, I see it, I see Shawn Michaels, and there's probably like 5 people in line. So because this is towards the end of his signing, it was like 12:30, and his signing was from 10 to 1. So it's towards the end of it. I jump in line, I'm thinking like, oh, I'll meet him in a few minutes. But who decides to show up? The person before me, Earl Hebner. So Earl Hebner's talking up with Shawn Michaels for a couple minutes. I'm like, ah, fuck, come on, Earl. And I'm sitting there in line trolling Luke, because Luke's watching, you know, and I'm like, ring the bell, and I'm, you know, playing a sharpshooter, just fucking around in line, you know, just doing some Montreal Screwjob references. And then finally, it's my turn to meet the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. And again, big shout out to Luke for filming the experience of me meeting the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. I have never been so nervous to meet someone in my life. I was shaking afterwards. It was a nerve-wracking experience for myself. Absolute honor to meet Shawn Michaels. I met him. I went up there, shook his hand, told him it was a pleasure to meet him. He signed my magazine right here. It's framed and everything. It's kind of hard to see the signature because of fucking glare, but you can see it a little bit. I'm trying to get a good angle of it, and I apologize. I might take a picture and just put it. You guys see it right there, kind of, where he signed it in gold. Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. It looks a lot better and look at it, but it's kind of hard to see it because I said the fucking stupid glare, so I apologize on that. But he signed it in gold. I brought my old gold Sharpie, took the picture with him, and walked away. And it was funny because as I was walking away, he kept the gold Sharpie. I'm like, oh, can I have my pen back? He's like, oh yeah, you might need that. I'm like, yeah. And just a little something like that was pretty funny. But meeting Shawn Michaels, absolute honor. Like I said, I was shaking afterwards. I've never felt that way about meeting a wrestler. And I met, Daniel Bryan, who's my second favorite wrestler of all time. And I wasn't even that nervous meeting him. So meeting Shawn Michaels, absolute pleasure and honor. And definitely can cross that off the bucket list. So very, very happy to have met Shawn Michaels. After that, Luke had his thing with Sting coming up. So he went to his photo op with Sting. I walked around WrestleCon for a little bit. And funny story. I was standing by where Ryback and Wade Barrett were doing their signing. I was just standing around that area, general area, just standing there looking around. And I felt something touch my leg. I'm like, what the fuck? And I realized a title belt's hitting my leg. And I noticed it's the Ring of Honor World Championship. And I look up, and Christopher Daniels is standing right next to me with Frankie Kazarian. They're both just standing next to me. I'm like, holy fuck. And I was kind of just taken off guard, like, oh shit. And I kind of regret not asking them for a picture because they were walking around and people were asking for pictures. They took pictures, no problem. But I don't know. I feel kind of like awkward asking for a picture without like buying something from them. I don't know. I just like, that's what you do at indie shows. You buy merch and you take a picture. And I just felt odd not asking them or not buying anything from them before asking for pictures. So I don't know. I was just weird like that. Excuse me. So, yeah, that was my little fun experience there with Christopher Daniels, and Luke got his picture with Sting, and then we eventually left WrestleCon. We were going to go to the Progress show. Heard it was a great show. The one match I really regret not seeing was Matt Riddle versus Trent Seven, and would have loved to see that match. But I guess I felt for our benefit, it was better off that we ended up skipping the show. So even though it's something I really wanted to do, for our own benefit, it was better off that we missed that show. So that was the one thing that we did not do that we were supposed to do, was go to Progress. So especially considering how far the place was to go, we just didn't want to deal with that hassle. So that's another reason why we didn't go. But we missed out on Progress. We went out to eat after that, and then we went to the Superstore because we had access to meet Shinsuke Nakamura. And then I didn't even notice this the first time around, so I ended up buying this the second time around at Access, or the Superstore. It was the NXT TakeOver poster. I didn't notice this because they had this where like all the plaques and stuff were at, so that's why I didn't notice it before. But Really nice poster, pretty much the same as a t-shirt. I still need to get a frame for this one. But yeah, really like that, so I'm glad to have that. So that's the one thing I bought at the Superstore. And then we waited in line on Access. And in line, we met the Lorenzo brothers as well as Griff. They were right like in front of us because where the line zigzags, we're in one section and they were the section next to us, like that. So it was pretty cool seeing them in line. And yeah, we went to Access. And you know, we bolted in there. We fucked around. It was fun. I believe the first line we went to was the NXT line. We bolted to the NXT line because I knew Gargano and Ciampa as well as Cassius Ohno were going to be signing, and I figured one of those two were going to be at the NXT booth, so we... Sorry. So I told Luke we need to go to the NXT booth. We went there, and none other than Cassius Ohno was indeed signing at that booth, and I was very excited because Cassius Ohno is someone that I've been wanting to meet for years, so I was very glad I was getting an opportunity to finally meet him. We were like the first like 10 people in line, so it wasn't a long wait at all. Went there, met Cassius Ohno. Very, very cool guy. Probably the nicest guy I met all weekend. He was very talkative. He actually wanted to conversate with you because, you know, there's been, you know, people where they're just like, yeah, cool, yeah, bye. But on Cassius Ohno actually went out of his way to talk to you. He asked where I was from. I told him I was from Sacramento. He goes, oh, you know, I've done shows in the, you know, in the area, you know, there's a company called APW that's in the Dolly area, Dolly City. I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I've heard about the shows. One of my friends go there. I know my friend Robbie-Wan Kenobi and Mr. Paul JB44 have gone to their shows. So I mentioned that, and I mentioned I've been to PWG a few times while I was on the shows, and we talked about PWG a little bit. Just very, very talkative person. So Cassius Ohno definitely was probably the nicest guy I met all weekend. And I got him to sign my program. Let me find the page. Okay, I passed it. It's hard to find some of the pages sometimes because you kind of skim right through it. But come on, where's Cassius? There it is. All right, there he is right there. Signed a KO for Cassius Ohno. So very, very excited to have met him. Like I said, he was someone that I've been wanting to meet for years now, and I told him that. So very happy to have met Cassius Ohno. Luke and I just fucked around, looking at some of the memorabilia. We went to the Triple H thing, which took us forever to find that for some reason. I actually had to look Triple H's picture on Twitter to find what area it was in, because it was actually right where you walk in. But I was trying to find it somewhere else, so we kind of walked past it. So we had to end up going back to it. And took a picture with that. Took pictures in front of some Bootios. We're just having fun at Access before we went to the Nakamura line, and eventually we went to the Nakamura line. And heads up to anyone that gets VIPs for Access, never go straight to your Access or your VIP line. I see it all the fucking time. I don't understand it. You're guaranteed to meet that person. Once you get into Access, go to some other fucking lines. You're not guaranteed to meet anyone else besides that VIP. So I just don't understand when people go straight to their VIP line. I know some people want to go there straight away and leave straight away, but if you're planning on staying that entire Access section, I just don't understand people that go straight to the lines. To me, it's absolutely fucking stupid. But we went in the line when it was getting pretty short. Not a very long wait at all. I just realized I forgot the item got signed, so hold on just a moment. Alrighty, but yeah, we went and met Shinsuke Nakamura. There is the wristband right there for Nakamura. We went there and we met him, I met Nakamura, and I went to shake his hand. The first thing he says is, I forgot which one he says. He either said, where did you get that shirt, or who made that shirt? I don't remember which one he said, but it was between the lines of those two, because I was wearing the custom-made Nakamura King shirt my friend Mike Pico made. Go give him a follow. Subscribe to him as well. I know he's coming out the shop soon with posters with the Nakamura King picture, so definitely follow him for updates whenever that's coming out. I believe he said sometime this summer, so definitely subscribe to his channel as well as follow him on Twitter. Pico, amazing designs. He's an awesome guy as well, so definitely check him out if you haven't already. I was wearing his shirt. Nakamura's marking out over it. Took the picture. He signed my figure, because I had the Defining Moments Nakamura figure. He signed it, which it's actually really hard to see. I don't think you can tell at all where he signed it. Oh, you can see a little bit because I had him sign it in red, and I wrote with the Sharpie a few times to try and see how thick it was, and it came out nice. But I guess the way he held the pen was like the thinnest possible, because the signature is pretty thin on here, so I kind of don't like the way it came out. And you can't really, you can see it a little bit like right there in his leg. Yeah, you can see it a little bit at this angle, but it's kind of hard to see from a distance. You can't really see. You have to really kind of like look at it at an angle to see it. So I definitely don't kind of like the way it turned out, but I'm glad to have it. I'm definitely getting a protector for this figure to put in as well, because like the end of the boxes were kind of getting fucked up. So got Nakamura to sign this. So yeah, that's what I got signed. It's special to me as well, because I was actually at his debut at TakeOver Dallas last year. So, and I got him to sign his first figure. So a lot of meaning to this figure for me. And yeah, I met him. Awesome guy. I really enjoyed meeting him. So that was definitely one of the priorities I wanted to get, was Nakamura. So I was very glad to have gotten him. And then after that, you know, Luke and I were kind of just walking around still, because we still had some time before we plan on leaving to go to the Hall of Fame. And we're kind of just looking for a short line, and we found one. And it was Tyler Bate. You know, his line wasn't super short, but it was reasonable. So we got in line there. It wasn't much of a wait, probably like 5 to 10 minutes maybe. In line, we noticed this on the ground, and it was one of these signs things, because they put in the guardrails, because, you know, here's the Velcro. They guardrail it on both sides, so it just has this for no reason, really. And it's all on the ground. I was like, oh shit, you know, look at that. And Luke's like, just grab it. I'm like, I'll grab it in a minute. And Luke just kind of picked it up and threw it in my bag. So props, thank you for Luke for allowing me to keep it, because he could have easily kept it if he wanted to, but he let me keep it. So big thank you for him as well for letting me keep this. So there's that. It's just a little souvenir. And met Tyler Bate. Didn't really say much to him. Just said what's up. Enjoyed his work. And I touched the title. I creeped my way in my hand in the title, by the way. I'm not even gonna like sugarcoat it. I kind of just like creeped my hand over the title in the picture, I think, too. But there it is right there. Tyler Bate signed the program. But so it was pretty cool meeting Tyler Bate. Definitely became a huge fan of his over the UK tournament. So definitely enjoyed meeting him. So that was Access. I'm not sure when I picked these up, so I'll just show them right now. I also have these little, you know, the guide and the magazine for WrestleMania 33 as well. They were giving these away at the convention center in front of Access, so I don't remember when I grabbed these, but I got those. So there's that, and I got this magazine out of one of the random newspaper stands, so got that as well. But Luke and I, after that, we left Access and headed straight to the Hall of Fame. We went to the Hall of Fame. We got there like 5 minutes before it started. Hall of Fame itself, I thought it was great. I enjoyed it. I thought DDP's speech was tremendous. Beth Phoenix was good. Rock and Roll Express surprised me because I didn't really care for them, but I thought they had a good speech. Eric LeGrand's was very inspirational. I enjoyed Rick Rude's son's speech for him. Who else was inducted? Teddy Long's was fun. I loved APA's stories about him beforehand. And Kurt Angle's was very nostalgic as well. I thought it was great. Had a lot of fun with that one, singing Sexy Kurt and whatnot like that. So Kurt definitely had a fun speech. And was just very, very nostalgic, like I said. So very fun Hall of Fame. I really enjoyed that. I thought it went on a little too long. It was over 4 hours, I believe. So it was a long Hall of Fame, but it was definitely a fun one. So definitely enjoyed going to Hall of Fame. And then afterwards, Luke and I walked around because, you know, we're trying to get an Uber. But, of course, that area where we're at, Uber was expensive because everyone's trying to get Uber. So we're just trying to get into a general area so it wasn't as expensive. We found an area. We were walking around, and we actually walked into Lake. I forgot what it's called, but it was the lake with the WWE title poster, or the title thing. Total accident. We walked into that. We did not mean to walk into that whatsoever. We're just trying to get away from that area so we can get a cheaper Uber. But we walked to that lake and we're like, wait a minute, is this the lake with the title? So we walked around the lake. Of course, naturally, the title's on the complete opposite side where we're at. We found it, took pictures with it, thought it was absolutely cool that we found it, because that was one of the things I wanted to do on the trip too, was find that and take pictures with it. So I was very glad we were able to find it by complete accident too. So we found that, took pictures with it, and then eventually we left and called an Uber and went back to the hotel. And it was pretty late at this point. It's probably like, I want to say like 1:30, because when we found that title thing, we actually chilled at that lake place, that lake place. It's late. I apologize. We chilled there for a while just to hang out and kind of digest the Hall of Fame a little bit and just hang out. So it was pretty late when we got back at the hotel. So got back, went to bed because we had to be up early. Well, at least I had to be up early first. Had to be up at 7 o'clock because I had access at 8 o'clock. Got up, called an Uber, which it fucking sucks that I called an Uber, because I went back, as soon as I got down, there were two guys waiting on an Uber already that are going to Access, and like, oh, you can hop in with us if you didn't call one already. I'm like, I just called one, but thanks. So I could have saved myself $10. So just my fucking luck. Called the Uber, went to Access, got in, went straight to the American Alpha line. Because I've been wanting to meet American Alpha for years. I've been a huge fan of them since they've been a tag team. Since I first saw Chad Gable, I've loved him. I've met Jason Jordan at the NXT show 2 years ago at the Aftershock Festival. So Chad Gable was the main goal. But meeting them as a tag team was great. I waited in line for quite a while. The line was like pretty full by the time I went in there. But it was, it wasn't a long wait. It wasn't as long as the wait. So got in line, met American Alpha, told them how long I've been waiting to meet them, that I love them as a tag team and huge fan of theirs. And of course, I got the Ready, Willing, and Gable towel signed. Of course, I got Gable right there and Jason Jordan's autograph right there. Definitely glad to get this signed. That's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to get this towel, was to get it signed by them. So got the purpose done for this towel, so I'm glad to have that signature. So I got that, met them, took a picture, great guys, loved meeting them. So yeah, after I met them, I kind of just roamed Access for a while, really didn't do too much. I got out of line probably, I don't know the time frame, but I knew Cesaro was signing at the 2K booth at 10 o'clock, and it was still early on. It was probably like no later than 9 o'clock at that point after I met American Alpha, so I really wasn't too sure what to do. So I kind of just walked around and watched some of the Access action. Didn't do too much. And then eventually got into the 2K line, probably like 9:45, 50-ish, around there, because I knew Cesaro was coming. So I just got in line. Jimmy Hart was doing the photo ops there. So I was just trying to, wait for Cesaro to come out. And eventually Cesaro did come out. Huge line of people come running down because, everyone wants to meet Cesaro apparently. Because he's awesome, so I don't blame anyone who wants to meet Cesaro. I've been wanting to meet Cesaro since my first Access session. So I've been the hunt for him for the past couple of years. So very, very happy I got the opportunity to meet him. Pretty funny. He gets there, runs back out to grab a grab a Sheamus standee cutout, whatever you want to call it, and runs back and puts it with him. So, kind of Cesaro and Sheamus photo op, because, Sheamus cut out and Cesaro was actually there. So I thought that was pretty funny that he was actually willing to go out there and grab it to do that. But Cesaro overall was probably the second nicest guy I met that entire weekend. Just like Cassius Ohno, he was very, very nice. Go up there, we immediately go for the pose, what we were doing. But for some reason, the photographer was not paying attention. She was talking to like the person next to her, not paying attention at all. So me and Cesaro were sitting there posing for like 5 seconds, and Cesaro was like, well, I guess we'll be posing for a while. I'm like, I guess so. And he starts joking around. Then, just like in Cassius Ohno fashion, jumps into where I'm from. I tell him, and he starts getting into the conversation about, where places around there he's wrestled before. And we just started talking, for probably like a minute or two. So Cesaro just was very, very talkative, wanted to talk and interact with you, which is absolutely awesome, because some of the wrestlers will just sign your stuff and just give it back to you and not even really acknowledge your existence. But Cesaro was super cool, wanted to make conversation, so meeting him was definitely one of the highlights of the trip. So like I said, he was probably the second nicest person I met that entire weekend. Really enjoyed meeting Cesaro, and like I said, I've been on the hunt for him for the last couple of years, so I was very, very happy to finally get Cesaro. So that was that. After I met Cesaro, kind of just walked around for a little bit again, because all the lines are kind of. I mean, not all the lines were long, but the people I was signing I didn't really care to meet, or I've already met, so it wasn't much of an issue for me meeting some of the people I were already signing. So I kind of just minded my own business, just walked around, didn't do a whole lot. Took some random pictures on some random memorabilia things and just like, you know, some of the cutouts. Just trying to kill some time before I eventually went into the line with Roman Reigns. I want to say happened to the Roman Reigns' line probably no later than 11:20, but even then his line was still super long. So I knew it wasn't getting short anytime soon, so I just jumped into it. I was in line, I think Tyler Bate defended the UK title against someone from the UK tournament. I think like Joseph Connors or James Drake or some random guy that no one gives a shit about probably. So that was good, and I think Pete Dunne attacked him afterwards, so that was that. And then Ricky the Dragon Steamboat did a Q&A in the ring where he mentioned Roman Reigns a few times, and people just booed Roman as Roman's like, oh yeah, I'm over here. So, you know, the line wasn't too long because, like I said, you had the ring right behind us to, you know, kill some time, so that was good. And then eventually came our time to meet Roman Reigns, and, you know, overall, I gotta say, despite what you guys think about his character, the way you push him, he's a really nice guy. I met Roman Reigns, went up to him, he said, what's up, brother? I said, what's up, man? Thanked him for, you know, signing and, you know, for just doing what he does. And he said, you know, he enjoys doing what he does. And then we posted the picture. He signed my Shield magazine, as you guys see it right there, but I'll post another picture just for a better image shot of it. I now finally have all 3 members of the Shield signed that magazine, so that's honestly probably now my most prized possession I have in my wrestling collection because of, you know, all 3 WrestleManias I've gone to. I've met all 3 members of the Shield, and that's something I'm going to cherish and prize forever. So that Shield magazine, like I said, probably is by far my most prized possession right now in my wrestling collection. So I was very happy to complete that with Roman Reigns. And yeah, I posted the picture, and then afterwards he says, alright man, nice meeting you, boss. I'm like, oh, thanks a lot, big dog. And I walked off. So Roman Reigns, like I said, very, very cool guy. Enjoyed meeting him. And then by the time I was finished meeting him, they were, you know, trying to get people to get the fuck out of the session because they had to clean up and get ready for the next session. So that session was ending, so I left the session there. Chilled in the hallway for a little bit because I didn't want to jump right into the line, which I kind of should have jumped in the line because by the time I got into the line, just a massive line. Even for the VIP, the line was just going like a mile long. It was just absolutely miserable. Saturday afternoon session is always the worst session to go to because it's always either sold out or just so fucking packed. You have like very, very slim chance of meeting anyone. But the thing is, since it is Saturday afternoon, they will stack it. They will stack it with the most like notable names they can, which is why it's always sold out in most stack session because, you know, everyone's trying to go to it because it's the biggest one. I mean, for general admission alone, you had names like Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, Charlotte Flair, Anderson and Gallows. Like, the list of the GAs were just unreal for this year. So it's pretty self-explanatory why it's always the most packed session, but at the same time, it's like, fuck. You know, I hate waiting in any kind of line, but that's just life. But yeah, I got in line for my VIP line because I had a VIP for AJ Styles that session, so I was very happy about that. Got in, and I immediately ran to, I believe it was the USA booth, because it was like the first booth you see when you walk in, so immediately ran to that one because I just had a feeling that someone I liked was going to sign there. Stood there, line wasn't forming that big, so I was kind of like, okay, this isn't good, the fact that this isn't getting a whole lot of people attracted to it. So I was sitting there, and then I noticed a lot of people were charging the tap-out booth. I'm like, oh, fuck, some big names, they beat the tap-out booth. So I book it to the tap-out booth, and I find out that it's Alexa Bliss. And I'm like, okay, I love Alexa Bliss, but I've already met her. So I was like, you know what, I don't need to meet her again. So I ran back to the booth I was originally at, and I'm glad I went back to that booth because none other than Anderson and Gallows ended up signing there, which I was very, very happy about because those are 2 guys that I definitely wanted to meet that weekend on the bucket list. So I was very, very happy those 2 were the ones signing that in that booth. So I was very happy about that. When my turn came, funny story, not really funny because it kind of embarrassed me, but so they have a person that works on the stage, of course, that takes a picture and whatnot, and then the person that works like on the staircase that like tells you when to go. So the person that takes a picture tells the person on the stairway to tell them when to come up, or the steps, not even a stairway, it's a step. So I'm waiting there, and there's this couple in front of me, and they're going in front of me, and I guess they're going one by one instead of like a group thing, because the person that was taking the pictures told the guy that was controlling the step to let me out. So I go up there and I set my stuff in front of Anderson and Gallows, and the guy that was still going was like putting his stuff there too. And the photographer, the lady's like, "Are you with them?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Well, you gotta wait your turn." I'm like, "You told me to come up." So she made me look like a fucking impatient asshole in front of Anderson and Gallows. So I appreciate that very, very much, lady, for you telling me to come up, then getting mad at me for coming up when you told me to come up. So appreciate that. So once the dude's turn went, I went up there and I apologized to her, which I think Anderson and Gallows thought I was apologizing to them, because Anderson goes, "No problem, good brother, it's all good. No harm done." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I guess that works. I wasn't apologizing to you, but thanks for saying it was okay." So met Anderson and Gallows, awesome guys, really enjoyed them. There's the signatures right there. Of course, that Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. I'll explain that smudge in a second. I don't know why I'm going over there for the cameras right there. I'm used to the camera being on that end, so that's why I keep going that way. But I'll explain why that's a smudge right there in a second. So I met them, told them how I love their characters. I'm talking shop, you know, Hell Yeah Man, the Fink, more so Reptile, and Anderson got a kick out of me being a mark for Reptile, and Gallows loved it as well. But yeah, I got it signed by them, the program, and took a picture, and it was very fun meeting them. Now, with the smudge on Anderson, I didn't notice this till I got home. So I was looking through, I'm like, wait a minute, why is this smudged? And I thought at first, like, oh, maybe I got smudged when I closed the program, but as you can see on the opposite side, there's no smudging on that page where it should have been smudged. So what I think happened was, because Anderson was the first guy, and then Gallows. So I think what happened was, when Gallows signed his picture, I think he put his hand on Anderson's signature and smudged it as he was signing his portion. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened, and that's why it's smudged. But you know what? It's not a big deal. You can still see his autograph. It's just smudged a little bit. But it was good meeting the Good Brothers. I was very happy about that. And it was good meeting them. And then after that, Luke and I met up because Luke he got there late because he was at WrestleCon that morning. So he was late to the session, which is fine because he didn't have a VIP or anything. He was just kind of there just to screw around, because we ended up going to the promo booth, which we did a few promos, which 2 of them are great. Well, he did one by himself, we did one together, and then we did another one together, which was absolutely terrible because I fucked up. I got nervous and I cracked under pressure and I fucked it up completely, so I apologize for that. And then we went to the Superstar entrance thing where you can do your own entrance, where I was AJ Styles and he was Nakamura, so that was fun to do, an entrance in front of a live crowd for the first time. So we're just doing random things to kill some time. We did the Cricket Wireless virtual reality thing where you gotta cut out headset 2 when you're done. So we just did random things to kill some time because I had to get in line for AJ Styles, who was signing from 1 to 3. You know, I didn't want to jump in his line right away. But it was like 2:30. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta jump in his line before, you know, it's 3 o'clock and I can't meet him anymore. So I got in line for AJ Styles, and I'll show you what I got signed for AJ. It is this picture, this poster, I guess you can call it, AJ, with him posing with the WWE Championship on a turnbuckle. Sorry for the glare, it's kind of hard to see it. I wonder if I can... that's probably the best angle I can get right there. So there is a picture. And of course there's his autograph right there in the corner. I think it came out beautifully. And then of course there's a wristband right there as well that you get when you have VIPs. But met AJ, really cool guy. It's pretty funny. He actually no-sold me when I first went up to him because I said, "What's up, AJ?" And he just said absolutely nothing to me because he was signing it. So I'm like, "Oh, what's up, Good Brothers?" Like, "Oh, what's up, man?" Too sweet of me. Took the picture, and that was it. Pretty quick and simple. And after I met AJ, they actually gave out this 8x10. From what I understood, they're doing this for a lot of people, but AJ was the only VIP I got this free photo with afterwards, so I don't know what the situation was. I've seen people have, you know, the 8x10s for Nikki and Jericho, but AJ is the only one I got an 8x10 after for, so did that. And after I met AJ, I was just walking around because it was almost 3. And I went to the shark cage booth because, you know, why not? It wasn't a line at all, so I was like, I might as well take a picture in the shark cage just for fun. Took a picture there, walked out, and I noticed as I was walking away, Daniel Bryan came out. Because the way it's set up was the shark cage, or it was the Superstar entrance thing, the shark cage, and the Elimination Chamber all next to each other. So I see Daniel Bryan, and I immediately call Luke. I'm like, dude, Daniel Bryan's right fucking next to me. And Luke was in line for the superstar entrance thing. So it was like, it was perfect. It was all in the same area. So I'm like, dude, get over here. I'm going to follow Daniel Bryan so I know where he's going, the sign. So Luke comes over here, and then Daniel Bryan walks up the steps for the Elimination Chamber. I'm like, fucking perfect. Book it to the line, and holy shit. Fucking, the moment Daniel Bryan walked in that chamber, swarm of people come running to the chamber line. I don't think anyone else probably had a longer line than him that session. Just a swarm of people. But Luke and I, considering we saw him and we were able to get in a good spot, we probably met him within like less than 10 minutes. So I was very, very, very happy we were able to get there as fast as we could. We got there. I've been wanting to meet Daniel Bryan again for the longest time. I mean, I met him 2 years ago, but I've always wanted to meet him again. And I've been inside the Elimination Chamber, especially the new one. So it was pretty much killing two birds with one stone. Got up there, met Daniel Bryan, excuse me, and I was kind of shaking again. It was kind of like Shawn Michaels all over again, where I was kind of getting nervous and just kind of starstruck. Then, you know, I went met Daniel Bryan, shook his hand, said hi to him. He said, nice to meet you. I said, nice to meet you again. And he was kind of like, oh, I guess I met you before. We posted the picture, and then afterwards, I think he went to say something to me, but I kind of cut him off. I was like, can I get a hug, man? I'm like, this may be weird to ask, but can I get a hug? He's like, yeah, no problem. So me and Daniel Bryan hugged it out because I didn't do this last time I met him. In 2015, I told Luke, I was like, I'm gonna hug Daniel Bryan. I don't care. I'm gonna hug that man. I didn't do it because I don't know what happened. I don't know if I got scared. I don't know why I didn't ask him, but I didn't hug him. And this time around, I was like, there's nothing stopping me. I'm gonna fly to ask him. And I did. So me and Daniel Bryan hugged it out, and it was an awesome moment. Very, very happy to have met him again. So that was great. So after that, I don't really remember what I did. I don't think Luke and I really did anything afterwards. I think we just walked around Access for a little bit and just tried to see what else there was to do. But I think like every line was too long to even try to hop into to meet someone real quick. So I think Luke and I just tapped out. Oh, we went to the memorabilia section to see the new Ric Flair statue and everything in there. So we did that, and then we ended up going back to the hotel room just to relax up, you know, before NXT. So we went to the hotel, relaxed, actually took a nap for about an hour and a half-ish. I took a nap. I woke up and realized, oh shit, it's 7 o'clock. So Luke and I headed to NXT. I have a live show review up on that, so I'm not going to go into too much into detail about NXT. I will have a show perspective, I guess, or show review of it soon. I'll probably have that up before the WrestleMania one, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I had a ton of fun with NXT. Thought it was a great show, and I definitely enjoyed myself. But after that, we roamed the streets, went to the bar, where just all the marks are going crazy. A bunch of marks were down there. I bought a beer, which I'm pretty sure the guy thought I had a fake ID, because when I gave him my ID, he studied it for like a minute straight and asked me, well, you just turned 21? I'm like, yeah, it says my birthday on there, January 12th. I just turned 21. So, despite the bartender probably thinking my ID was fake, he finally gave me my beer, and partied up. You know, we're singing theme songs, dancing, just being a bunch of marks, and it was one hell of a time. Probably didn't go back to the hotel room till like 2:30ish. So that was a lot of fun. So Saturday was probably the most fun day, honestly. I had a ton of fun, even though I was super, super tired because I had to get up early, and then I didn't get to the hotel room until late. It was an overall extremely fun day from start to finish. So had a lot of fun there. Great day. And then we go into Sunday, which was kind of a chill day, you know, up until WrestleMania. Luke and I went to IHOP because it was right down pretty much in the corner of our hotel. So went to IHOP, got some breakfast, and then we went to a mini golf course because, you know, we wanted to do something fun before WrestleMania, and we thought mini golf was probably, you know, the funnest thing we could do. And it was a lot of fun. Luke did beat me because I swear to you, every time I went to hit the ball, there was like 100 miles per hour wind, and my ball kept moving with the winds. I'm not even joking. I'm not being a sore loser, but I swear every time I went, the winds were blowing like crazy. Every time Luke went, no winds whatsoever. Conspiracy theory against me? I think not. But we played. It was fun. Luke won because, like I said, winds fucked me over. So that's that. But I did get a few hole-in-ones though, so that was fun. But after that, Luke and I called an Uber for WrestleMania. Our Uber driver, I forgot what his name was. Shitty Ram. I mean, his name wasn't Shitty Ram, but it was close enough to where I called him Shitty Ram. So that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. I just thought of like I just put myself back in that moment of joking about his name, Shitty Ram. But we went to WrestleMania, and pretty funny because we went to IHOP. We didn't go, no, not IHOP, sorry, Subway, because there's Subway next to the golf course. So we went there to get drinks real quick because we're thirsty after that. But for some reason, this guy ordering with like the lowest pitched voice in the world was ordering, and it was taking like a fucking hour. We literally stood there. We were just buying drinks, and we're in line for like 10 minutes, and we just said fuck it and just threw them back in the fridge and left, and called the Uber. But I just reminiscing back that guy's voice, hearing his little shitty voice, makes me laugh. So just thought I'd mention that. But we went to WrestleMania. We got there, and I gotta say, Camping World Stadium is in a really ghetto area. Very, very ghetto. I didn't like the area at all. It was in the middle of a shit place. The stadium's nice, just not a nice area that it was in. We got in WrestleMania, no problems at all. There was a match going on outside at the stadium. We got in, and I hate the way it was set up because there's literally no fucking signs to tell you where was what. Like we were just walking around just trying to find out where the fuck to go because there's no sign that said like, oh, sections 1 whatever to whatever this way. It was just like arrows pointing like, oh, this way, that way. So I didn't like the way the stadium was, like the location, the fact that you didn't really know where the fuck you were going. Yeah, a lot of problems there. But it was really, really nice. So we got there, got to the seats, enjoyed the show. I'm not gonna go over the show once again. Like I said, with the NXT, I have a live review as well of WrestleMania already up. My Blu-ray Steelbook review will be up eventually in the next few days, hopefully. So stay tuned for that. So I'm not going to go over the show itself, so I'll leave it at that. Then after WrestleMania, we kind of just walked down, we kind of relaxed for a little bit, and then I went to the merch line because I wanted to, I originally went to take a piss, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go buy something because I just want to get something before I leave. So I ended up buying 2 things. I ended up buying one being a shot glass, which I don't have with me because I actually bought it for my sister because she likes getting shot glasses, so I just bought that for her because I got one for her last year in Dallas, so I thought I'd just get her one for her as well. And the other thing I got was the AJ Styles vs. Shane McMahon match shirt. Of course, the Phenomenal versus the Money. I kind of regret not getting the Undertaker Roman Reigns shirt instead. I got this one just because in that moment I was so like just heartbroken by the Undertaker situation. And this was the match I enjoyed the most on the show, so that's why I picked this one over that shirt. But looking back on it, I kind of wish I would have gotten the Undertaker Roman Reigns match shirt instead because this is on WWE Shop right now still, so I could have easily ordered this online. But just like I said, this is the match that I enjoyed the most, so that's why I ended up getting this one. So that was the front. Here's the back. One thing that made me laugh was the AJ Styles portion where it just says WWE Champion and then has won World Championships all over the world. I just think it's pretty funny. So there's a shirt, awesome shirt, love the color as well. But like I said, looking back on it, I kind of wish I would have gotten the Undertaker Roman Reigns shirt instead. But like I said, that was a match that made me the absolute happiest, so that's why I got it. And then Luke and I ended up taking a nice walk, a couple miles to get a cheap Uber back to the hotel room because, of course, in that general area, Uber's gonna be expensive as fuck. So everyone's trying to get one. So we're thinking if we walked a few miles away, we would be able to get a cheaper one, and we still end up paying a pretty penny for it. So that was that. Ended up going back to the hotel room, messed around, and went to bed. So WrestleMania Sunday was pretty fun. Enjoyed the show, enjoyed the mini golfing and IHOP, everything in between it. So that was definitely a fun day. And then of course going to Monday, which was pretty jam packed. We went to Disney World that day. Luke and I went to Disney World. And to be honest, there really wasn't much to do there. I know Epcot was probably the place that we should have went. But I just wanted to go to Disney World so I can say I've been to Disney World. It wasn't terrible. I mean, we went to Space Mountain, which was fucking worth the entire trip there. We did like little other rides. Like we did this, I forgot what the fuck it was called. Something carousel or something. I forgot what it was. And we just went on little other rides along the way. But Disney World itself, definitely somewhere you just want to go to take your girlfriend or family. I wouldn't recommend going there just to hang out because there's really not much to do. Honestly, when the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, which is, you know, it's pretty much the same ride as one in Disneyland, so I kind of regret not going to Epcot instead. But like I said, I wanted to say I've been to Disney World, and on the way out, yeah, see here's a pamphlet map too. It's all screwed up from being in my pocket, but there's a pamphlet for it. But on the way out, here's the card you got to use too. So on the way out, I end up buying. Come on, really? Okay, there we go. This little pin here, where it just says my first trip to Disney World. So that's what I got. And yeah, after that we headed to Raw, which Raw was fun. Enjoyed the show. You know, the Revival debut was awesome seeing. You know, Finn Balor's return was good. The Brock Lesnar Braun Strowman segment was good. Just that was a pretty fun, enjoyable Raw. So nothing to complain about there. And then after the show, I went back to the hotel room, went back to bed. So Monday was pretty solid. Nothing really bad. Like I said, you know, Disney World was okay, and you know, Raw was fun, but pretty simple day. I mean, we were out doing stuff the entire day, but it was pretty simple. And Tuesday was pretty much the same day because we went to Universal Studios instead that day, which was fun. I enjoyed Universal. A lot more to offer. We went on a handful of rides, like the Simpsons ride was fun. Little other rides. We went to the Terminator thing. The big roller coaster ride that they advertise. We were going to go on there, and we were probably like 20 people behind in line. And then they said that due to weather conditions, the ride's no longer operating. So it rained, so we got screwed out of going on that roller coaster ride. I forgot what it was called. So that sucked. But we did see Kevin Owens walking around. Kevin Owens came out of the bathroom, and we're like, oh shit, there's Kevin Owens walking around. Didn't ask him for a picture because it was his son, so I didn't want to bother him. And I've already met Kevin Owens before, so there was no reason to bother him. So it's just pretty cool to see a wrestler out in public like that. But Universal Studios was fun. Definitely better than Disney World. Sorry, my throat got dried there. But it was fun. And then of course I got this little keychain right here with Universal Florida, because everything there just said Universal Studios, and I've been to Universal Studios in Hollywood, so I really wanted something that said Universal Studios Florida, and this is like one of like the 2 or 3 things that said Florida on it, so that's why I got this instead of anything else. So that was what I got there. And then we called an Uber to pick us up, and we had a dart to the Uber because this person was threatening us, saying that, hey, I'm not gonna get a ticket because if I park here, if I stay here if I stay down here too long, I'll get a park ticket or whatever. So this person was kind of being a bitch. So we're like, ah, fuck, we gotta. So we booked it. We ran because she said, if you're not here down here in 5 minutes, I'm leaving, and we're just leaving. So we had to book it, and we got there in time. And she took us to our hotel, and you know, even though she was kind of a bitch, she was actually really nice because she actually offered to take us from our hotel back to the arena, because for us it was cheaper to go back to our hotel and call another Uber to take us to the arena rather than going from Universal to the arena. So we tried to do that, and she was nice enough to stay and take us to the arena. She hauled ass and took us to the arena. So very, very thankful for that person, even though she was acting out a few times. She was definitely helped us. So very happy about that. I got the SmackDown, same seats as Raw. Show itself was very fun. You know, seeing Nakamura's debut and Ty Dillinger, and you know, the main event was fun. It was just, you know, a good solid show on SmackDown Live, and Luke and I just fucked around for 205 Live. Him yelling out Mufasa to Mustafa Ali because we were just fucking around and getting pops. And of course, when Nakamura came out for his dark match, Luke and I did Nakamura's complete entrance, and I'm pretty sure we probably ended up on a few Snapchat stories by doing Nakamura's entrance and just going crazy. So that was fun to do, just screwing around, doing his entrance. Just, yeah, fun time, especially when 205 came, because when 205 Live started, Luke and I didn't give a fuck about the show, so we just fucked around and trolled it. and it was just made for a great time. Then, you know, we head back to the hotel room, packed our shit, and just, he went to sleep. I couldn't go to sleep because, like, you know what, we're gonna be up in a few hours anyways. I might as well just stay up and sleep on the plane ride home. And that's what I did, because when we got to the airport, we got in the flight, which was 5 hours, and I fell asleep for 4 of the 5 hours, so that was good. And we went to Vegas. We landed in Vegas. I forgot what time, but it was pretty early. And then we said our goodbyes and went our separate ways, and then we went home. So that was a trip, ladies and gentlemen. I know I kind of went through this pretty quickly. Well, not very quickly. This video is pretty damn long. But there's just a lot to talk about. And I wish I could go more in depth on some things. But I feel like I'll be sitting here for 4 hours, so I try to go in depth with everything. So just overall, a very fun trip. Had a great time with Luke. Couldn't have asked for a better person to go with on this trip. Definitely created some great memories and just had a ton of fun trolling, just, you know, just having a great time in Orlando. There were some hiccups along the way, but you know what? I think it happens in any kind of trip you go on, you get hiccups, so it is what it is. But yeah, I definitely had a great time. Definitely had a great experience. And New Orleans is looking very, very likely for me next year. So I'll probably go to New Orleans next year, and that'll probably be the last one, because I wanted this one to be the last one, but the mania bug bit me, and I'm pretty sure I'll be going next year as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this very, very long video. If you guys sat through it all, thank you very much for sitting through this entire video. If you did not sit through it, I don't blame you. But if you did, thank you very, very much. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know, again, I do apologize for being super, super late, but better late than never. WrestleMania 33 Steelbook review, as well as NXT TakeOver Orlando review, coming up probably the next couple days, so stay tuned for those videos. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like below. And until next time, I'll see you guys, and thank you guys for watching the video.